Hi friends, it's Angie here. Oh my goodness, what a lot going on. I'm going to do an update on Karen Jones, working girl to therapist, who is still in very honest communication with me, but is a little bit freaked out and scared to go back on camera just at the moment. She says, I'll read you the messages, that's what I'm going to do with her permission. I'm going to read it on my phone because there are some people in high places that are helping her with her very worthy work of reaching out to trafficked women in prostitution and offering them a way out if they want to escape. And one particular heartbreak. So she's got some MPs and people in positions of power and influence that are saying they will help her get sorted out and established, and but she told me one particular. So I'm not going to screen share. I'm going to read it off my phone because she doesn't want me to expose the different MPs and so on that are helping in case they get trolled and scared off, So I did give her a warning, don't trust, sadly, most congressmen, senators, MPs, TDs, they've at least 90% are compromised. So I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket, but the odd one is a good egg, so maybe it's worth it. So Karen shared with me that she got so badly trolled, including probably mostly by Shiva Burton, aka Sue Melrose, so much so that Karen is having to change her phone number. And for somebody that's been reaching out to working girls to help them escape from trafficking for years, changing the phone number is a really radical thing. There may be girls out there that only have that number. And so if it's on you, Shiva, that number will ring unobtainable, I hope you sleep well. The other heartbreaking thing, and I'll just say this in summary, Karen was sharing about she tried to rescue a Polish girl caught up in a brothel in Manchester who had reached out, I don't know whether through one of Sharon's leaflets or word of mouth. Not Sharon, I mean Karen's leaflets or word of mouth. But this Polish lady, 22 or 3, had reached out to her and said, help me please. So Karen once again put her neck on the line and went out to collect this vulnerable trafficked woman stuck in a brothel. She got threatened by the Polish pimp to a huge degree. I mean, her courage is phenomenal. But the tragedy is this girl came back and disclosed to Karen, told her she had been trafficked from the age of 6. And Andy Devine recently shared a video about child trafficking and how literally 3 and 6-year-olds being put in child brothels. It's horrendous. But the tragedy was this young lady, this Polish lady, trafficked from the age of 6, now 22 or 3. Even though she disclosed to Karen, she ended up going back to the pimp. She said, I don't know any other life. I don't know any other way. So anyway, look, so I'll just catch you up, because for now I do believe Karen will come back on camera. But I had warned her before ever we went public. I had warned her, there's going to be backlash, you're going to be trolled, you're going to be threatened, you're going to be intimidated. And she's like, bring it on, this is nothing I didn't disclose before. She did disclose fully in 2013, but nobody was willing to pick it up. So let's just see where we are. Right. This is on my phone, so just be patient with me, put the kettle on. Right, so we were due to do part 3, and if I'd have cancelled my 3 o'clock Zoom, I'm sure that Karen and I could have talked for hours. But I think what we did put out there was enough. It was phenomenal. Yeah, so it did spook Karen a bit. Oh, God. This is relevant just because of messages I'm getting at the recent suicide of Barbara Collier. We're talking about Sue Melrose, Shiva Burton, and Karen says the last time I spoke to her, she told me she was reporting Babs Collier for trolling. The police went to her house, presumably Shiva's, and told her there are better things to do than fight her battles. Wow. Okay. And then Karen says, I can do without police at my door. I've got some very sensitive clients at the moment. And these clients are working girls that are trying to escape from trafficking, really trying to escape, not doing a Cully Diamond, but really trying to escape. Although some of them don't make it. And some of them do go straight back in. And then Karen says, hey Angie, I'm so sorry I had to deal with the police regarding the young woman escaping her pimp last week. He has made death threats to her and her child. I had to give a statement. And then M tried to commit suicide. Wow, this is probably the mother. The one that she was trying to help escape from trafficking. I don't think it was a serious attempt, but a cry for help. She's getting a lot of help from the local council and is moving out of Manchester. I'm exhausted. I had a young man contact me last night who's being forced to work on the streets in Manchester by a gang that is in operation in the north, targeting young gay men. Oh my God, does this never end? I'm so sorry, Angie. Hopefully we can sort something out for this Wednesday. Hope all's well with you. I watched a bit of Sharon Gale the other night. She invited Sue Melrose, Shiva Burton to go to Ireland with her. Okay, so then... Alright, I'd be very careful with her. I think she's referring again to Sharon Gale, Latter, Swiston. She's definitely being paid, Angie. This is her opinion. This is just a message. She hasn't got the budget to be popping over to Ireland. I had a lot of disgusting texts from Melrose. Have blocked her and will be changing my number this week sometime. They are very, very dangerous. And then Karen says to me, I don't want anything bad to happen to you, Angie, or myself for that matter. I'm finally getting somewhere with Manchester. People of power and influence, bringing the terrible situation to the light of some of the girls who are being forced to work. Last week I heard of a house in Manchester that has trafficked girls from abroad in operation. Take great care, Angie, we'll speak soon. And then, okay, then she says, I'm really sorry I can't take the chance. So she'd lost her courage for a while, which is fine. I think it's very dangerous to publicly come out and give her testimony. I'm starting to get somewhere with my work, which is trying to help girls that want to get out of forced prostitution and human trafficking. I think, I won't say that. I'll say parts of it. I think Sue Melrose and others are definitely part in a huge group, along with Ricky Dearman and Karen Irving. I don't know how you cope. I don't have any family that are close by, and I don't have friends that I can talk to about it. I hope you stay safe, and I'm always here if you need to have a rant. And then this is the bit I was telling you about. I was also threatened by a Polish guy when I went to pick up a young girl who'd been trapped in a brothel in town. The poor girl was only 23 and had been trafficked since she was 6. 6 years old, Angie, FFS. She's gone back now. Working in brothels is all she knows, and she won't ever be free of them. It's not going to end until the world wakes up to this. And she talks about somebody else in a position of power and influence, wants to meet up next week. So hopefully he will help, or maybe get me some funding. I'm totally skint. I spent all my savings, and there's so much to do. And then she says, yes, that would be great. I'd prefer if you didn't mention the person of power and influence, which I haven't. I have a feeling he doesn't really want to be known to be involved, but I will definitely let you know how I get on with him. As for Sir Harvey Proctor, I will tell you what happened with him. Now, this is information that has been previously released, but he's like, what do you call that guy? What's that guy that was the escape artist? Anyway, it doesn't matter the name. But Harvey Proctor just keeps... He did get prosecuted once, found guilty for, having sex with a minor, but he brushed it off. He still keeps coming back and appearing on telly, like, trying to take the high ground. Anyway, Karen continues, as you know, I lived at Bridget's house. Bridget was a madam, and sadly, I suppose the name was a giveaway. She was Irish. So I lived at Bridget's house for 2 years until I bought my own flat in Hammersmith. Proctor was a regular caller at Bridget's house. They were often in the kitchen whispering. I was never interested in what was going on. I just wanted to make my money and get out of the business. Then one night he came round, and I think it was around the time he had been charged with hurting a young lad. He booked in with me. I was a bit shocked, as I thought he was gay. Although it was never talked about, I just thought he wasn't interested in women. However, I think he booked in with me so that if needs be, he could get me to say, oh, but he isn't gay, he booked in with me. Anyway, it was uneventful. I can't remember any details about him, but I remember when he got dressed, he put his jacket on the bed. He was always immaculately dressed. He threw his jacket on the bed and went to the bathroom. I noticed some Polaroid pics were half out of his pocket. I didn't touch them, but I could see the picture on the top was of a young lad with a bare chest. I would say the lad was about 13. I dismissed this and carried on, went downstairs, poured some wine. I'm ashamed to say I didn't do anything about that. But given that when I did tell the police about the magazine I found that time, probably just as well, really. And then I said, Proctor is alleged to have violently abused young boys to a level of sadism that is off the charts. Hooking up with you may have been a cover suggested by Bridget, like gays have wives as beards, etc. Stuart Lubbock was raped to death by Michael Barrymore, allegedly, who had to have surgery on his penis the next day. That's all documented. How come the mainstream media didn't report on it? Yeah, so I said documented in court, but no media covered it. Proctor is despicable, in my opinion, and ran Project Scorpion from Suffolk, or was involved with it. That was a project sending young runaways to London, telling them somebody would meet them with a job and a place to live. So, then she says, my computer just completely crashed. I have people tell me this all the time. I think I'm being watched. You probably are, Karen. Bridget wasn't her real name. Her real name was Kathleen, but yes, she was Irish. Her sister was married to Bruce Forsyth. Her name was Penny Calvert. Wow. And when they were children, they were brought up on a caravan site in Blackheath. I found her diaries when I was snooping one time. Brought up on a caravan site in Blackheath. One ends up marrying Bruce Forsyth, the other ends up running a top-class brothel. Then it says, the last time I saw Bridget was at her wedding. She married an old guy and her name became Bridget Swanson. He was very rich and lived on Manor Road in Chigwell. I think Bridget died around 2013. I'm not sure, it might have been earlier than that. One entry in her diary was, Bruce came to the caravan today and took me and Penny to the West End. We went to a bar. Penny is only 14, so we were worried that she wouldn't get in. Bruce Forsyth. Bruce Forsyth put Bridget on the game, allegedly, according to my source, when she was only a child of 13 or 14. Oh, my goodness. Oh, dear God. And then Karen says, release this when you want to. Should I've already put this information into the public, and I told Mark Conrad, is that XRO? Everything I've told you. That's when he got Carol Higgin-Jones, I'd like to know more about her, to get friendly with me. Is that the Discover77 on Twitter? I don't know. Is that Carol, the one that hangs around Sharon? I don't know. And then to discredit me, which is what she did. Then I got hounded off Twitter. This is still Karen Jones. I put all of this information out 2012 to 2015. Nobody's done anything with it. And she says, I just realised Bridget used the name Bridget Burton. Now, where have we heard the name Burton before? And she does have a look of her. Oh, I said, I wonder, was Bridget trafficked or adopted through the Catholic Church? Oh, she says, I'm not sure about her early years, but she always said she sent her mum and sisters to America where they lived out their days. So Bridget, aka Kathleen, and her sister got pretty much trafficked by Bruce Forsyth and others. But at least she got her family to what she perceived to be safety in America. She said, yes, you can release it as me, that's fine, I just don't want to jeopardise anything I'm doing at the minute. So nervous to come on camera, but happy to keep sharing information. So I asked, did Bridget supply young boys also? Otherwise, why would Proctor be there regularly? I wonder, was she connected to Elm Guest House, Spartacus, the Monday Club? And I said, I'm so ashamed the Irish took part in this shit. Same in Northern Ireland with Kincora, etc. And then Karen replies, I don't know about young boys, but why would Proctor be involved with Bridget? Why would the Chinese guy with the magazine be one of her clients? So I'm thinking she might have been involved. It didn't occur to me at the time, but I do know Bridget had flings with women. She tried it with me once, but I let her know I'm not interested in women. And of course you can put it out. I wouldn't tell you about it all if I wasn't sure. Oh dear God. So I said, Bridget, the Madam Bridget might have been the beard cover for all of them. So yeah, so Bridget sent Karen to this Anglo-Chinese guy in the Barbican who had the most severe snuff torture porn of young boys in his magazine rack. And Bridget referred Harvey Proctor to Karen for one session, even though he was known by everybody to be gay. So was Bridget, what was Bridget, oh dear. I said, right, so here's what I said. If she might have been the beard cover for all of them, like, don't worry if you get caught with little boys, Bridget will cover for you. Maybe more will come forward when we release this. Oh, bless. Then Karen says she's got CCTV and lots of self-preservation strategies in place. I said we're probably monitored, welcome to my world, but there are some good people, even in intelligence services, who are secretly cheering us on. And then Karen says, well, I've many stories to tell you about Bridget's clients, royalty, famous people, and their sons, which I always found a bit sick. Yeah, this is a practice amongst the elites, to give their 14 or 13-year-old sons a present of pop off and see a prostitute and she'll take your virginity for you and teach you how to I dated a guy in California that had happened to, a multi-millionaire's son. And even though we dated, we never got past the dating stage. And he said to me, my dad sent me to a prostitute at 14, and it caused such shame and confusion in me that I've never recovered. He said, I'm terrified of healthy relationships and normal relationships, and I've developed an addiction to what my father introduced me to at 13 or 14. And he said, it's fucked my head up, it's fucked me up, Angie. My heart broke for him. But this is a very common practice amongst the elite. Here we go, son. It's your birthday, bar mitzvah, whatever. Off you go and see a lady of the night. We should write a book, Angela. I also believe there was some kind of mind control going on. This is Karen talking again. Bridget insisted that we had televisions in our room, and I would often find myself staring at the fuzzy screen once the TV ended. Remember when TV ended at 10:30 each night? And then that's it for now. I do think Karen will come back on camera, but I do acknowledge, and this is why I don't do as many interviews as I used to do, because the professional trolling outfits and the pedos and the pedo protectors, if they can't get to me directly, they'll go after my associates, my family, my guests, anybody connected to me. So it takes a strong heart to withstand this. So anyway, that's just an update from Karen. Pretty, I mean, there's plenty more to come, but I've been hearing evidence about Harvey Proctor for years, and many others. So pray for myself, Karen, all the women she's tried to help escape from trafficking and forced prostitution, and pray for protection, and do what you can, even if it's just to share this. Thanks, guys. Oh, I'm recording a try to... Alright. Yeah, check out the links. If you can help, if you can support in any way, please do. And, one day at a time.